Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to talk about my labor and delivery during the COVID-19 pandemic, what have you. So to go back a little bit, I did take a few clips of before my like when I wanted to induce, and then I took a few clips of the day that I was in labor. So obviously it was kind of hard for me to try to vlog, sorry, she's right here, while I was in active labor. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to kind of like watch the clip and insert it, and then after I'll like kind of come back on and tell you guys like what was happening and what happened in between each clip. The last clip that I think that I have is I was like 3 centimeters dilated or something like that. I don't remember, but you'll see it. And then so after that I'll just come back on here and I'll have to tell you the rest from memory. Right now she is, this Friday was supposed to be my 6-week postpartum appointment. So she's, I think technically 7 weeks this week, 8 weeks next week, something like that. I don't know. On the 1st she'll be 2 months. So today is, I don't never grab the day. The 17th. So she's like 6 weeks old. She was born August 1st, 2020. So yeah, 6 weeks postpartum brain. So I'm gonna go ahead and watch the first clip. Alright, so it is 7:48 on, what's today's date? Monday.
Yeah, 28.
The 27th?
8.
Don't look at your watch, because your watch be wrong.
Hey, full disclosure, that is not the Apple Watch. I have not even opened that watch yet.
I ain't talking about
full
that.
disclosure, don't be flexing on my citizens either.
Well, dude, what time is it?
It's 7:49 on the 27th. You said
Okay, so it's 7:49 on the 27th.
I live in the future.
So I made a jug of raspberry leaf tea. Disregard him. Of raspberry leaf tea. It's in the freezer. I'm gonna eat the rest of my pineapple. I tried to do the activating labor video. I'll link it down below, but that hurt. I don't got Megan Thee Stallion knees, and I feel like you need her knees to do the video. But I tried it. I'm gonna do it every day till Thursday. Hopefully she comes Friday, so or somewhere in there. So that's the update for today. And we are not gonna go for a walk because it's raining, but hopefully we can tomorrow. But I think it's supposed to rain and it's supposed to be really hot, so I don't know, we'll see. Okay, so I haven't got through that whole clip yet, but so I had her Saturday the 1st, so on the 27th, which was a Monday, so that is when I started inducing methods. So what I started off with was like the low impact inducing methods. So I ate like 2 whole pineapples, basically, like a lot of pineapple. I made a whole, I like unsweetened tea. Like when I was doing keto, I like weaned myself off of sugar and tea. So I made a whole like Simply Lemonade, like containing like 52 ounces or something of raspberry leaf tea, and I basically put it in the fridge, let it chill, and then I drank that like all day for like 3 or 4 days. And every time that it would get low, I would make more. I have actually a little bit left. I don't know if I can drink it while breastfeeding, but so I did that. And then the the tea, the pineapple. I cannot think straight. So the tea, the pineapple. I did this video, I'll link it down below, called Activating Labor. Girl, that video was when you are 38 weeks pregnant, I don't care what nobody say, I was 38 weeks pregnant, I'm a bigger girl anyway, trying to, my knees, they was hurt, my knees was hurting and my legs was burning. It's only like 7 minutes, but boy, them first like 3 minutes I was hurting. I needed help. I only did that video once. I was gonna do it every day. Nah, that wasn't happening. Okay, so leading up to me like trying to induce myself, we were doing a lot of walking. My mom kind of lived in like a cul-de-sac situation, so I would kind of just walk that circle. Mind you, like I said, I had her August 1st and it was scorching hot like the entire month of July. Like every day, like it would be 8, 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night some nights, and it's still like 80, 85 degrees with like 80% humidity, and I was like dying. Like I just couldn't do it sometimes. But leading up, like at dusk, like 9-ish o'clock, we would at least walk around once, if not twice, if I could, just to keep that up. I did a lot of walking in like stores and stuff. Even with COVID, I would just wear a mask because I wanted to walk, but I could not walk outside. Like, and the gyms weren't open. It's not like I could go somewhere and walk on a treadmill or walk on a track or anything. So I did what I could to get the exercise in, like to get her moved in position and all that. What else did I say? Oh, I sat on my yoga balance ball a lot. That was supposed to help like get her down in the pocket and all of that. So those are like all of the induction methods that I tried. Force me to what?
Be active.
I'm doing it right now. So it is, I should look at a clock before I start recording.
Hey, slap my phone like that.
It's 9:40.
You didn't even put the screen protector on my phone. You slapped my phone like that.
It's
You
9:40.
wouldn't slap your phone like that.
And we're gonna I'm going to attempt, I don't think I can turn this around. I'm eating some hot wings. They're not really all that hot. I think it's because they're boneless. They were supposed to be bone in, but they're bone out.
Bone in.
So we're gonna eat this, and then that'll be it for tonight. And we'll see. My stomach has been like super tight and like uncomfortable, but no contractions. So I got my unsweetened raspberry leaf tea. I know, I'm from Michigan. It's whatever. Yeah, some sun tea, some sun raspberry leaf tea.
Don't play, I'll go in there and get a can of burners.
And then we'll see what happens tomorrow. Okay, so that on Monday night I ordered hot wings because they say spicy food is supposed to help induce your labor and all that. However, all it did was really give me heartburn. There was some good wings there from like Pizza Hut because that was the only thing that was open at like 10 o'clock at night that would deliver. Maybe he went and got them, I don't remember. But they got the order wrong. I wanted bone in wings because I wanted all the sauce. Like I didn't want my sauce to get sucked up by the breading, but they sent me bone out, like regular boneless wings. And I think he ordered like the medium one or the mild one, but I wanted whatever was like hotter. They weren't that hot. So, and I kind of eat spicy wings, so it didn't really do anything. They were good, but I don't think this, I can't say spicy food helps induce you in labor because I don't feel like they were hot enough to really do anything. Whew, I look a hot mess. Alright, so recording on my phone. I look a hot mess, but we just left the doctor, and it is looking like it might be tonight or tomorrow. I'm a little bit past 3 centimeters. I've been having contractions like every 10 minutes or so, lasting about a minute. So I'm gonna have my mom redo my braids for me, straighten up the room, get everything ready, eat, and hopefully tonight or sometime we'll be having a baby. So I did not do the midwife's brew, but I did sleep for like 2 days, so we kind of knew this was coming. I don't know if I already don't know if I said that I'm a little bit past 3 centimeters. They didn't tell me if I was effaced or anything. So. Okay, so I had all of my doctor's appointments on Fridays because when I was working before COVID, my day off was Friday. So that Thursday I had planned on taking or making the midwife's brew. Like, I even bought all the stuff to do it. I didn't do it. I didn't make it. I was still kind of unsure about the castor oil, and I was still only 38 weeks, so I was battling with myself whether I wanted to do it or not. That's why I wanted to try all the other induction methods first. But Monday through Wednesday I ate pineapple and drank the tea and walked and was on the ball. But really Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday I slept like all day. Thankfully, with my mom and my boyfriend and all of them, they took care of Mason, my oldest. But I was basically passed out for 2 whole days. Like, I would get up, use the bathroom, eat, check my phone, and then I passed right out again. Like, I was exhausted. So I guess my body was like revving up for labor. Friday, all Thursday night into Friday morning, like, I started having contractions, but they were like super far apart, but they were intense, but they would only be intense for like 30 seconds or 20 seconds. And then my appointment was at 10, but with COVID, as I said in my last video, you have to wait outside and wait for them to call you in, and then, or wait for them to call you to get registered, and then wait another like 45 minutes for them to call you upstairs. Like, it would take forever. So the entire time I was outside waiting, I was having contractions like every 7 to 10 minutes. But they were strong contractions, like they hurt. But I was like, I didn't want to just go to the hospital because I didn't feel like they were strong enough or close enough yet. Plus I had a doctor's appointment so they could check me or whatever. So went to my appointment, told them, like, I couldn't even get weight or anything because, like, my boyfriend he technically wasn't supposed to come in with me, but he had to like walk me up the stairs and up the elevator because I was scared I was gonna have contractions in the elevator, couldn't get off. So he got me up to there. They took me straight to a room. I had to do basically, like, I couldn't pee in a cup or any of that stuff because I was having contractions. Like, by this time they were like every 5-6 minutes apart. But they checked me. They said I was only out of 4, and I could either go home and try to like progress more on my own, or I could go to the hospital. They suggested that I go home, which yes they did, which is what I wanted to do because I did not want to be in the hospital longer than I really needed to be. 1, because of COVID, 2, because it's the hospital, and 3, I wanted this to go a little bit more according to my birth plan. So the main things that I wanted for my birth plan was I didn't want as many people in the room, which obviously wasn't going to happen because it was COVID. 2, I wanted an epidural, but I wanted an epidural when I felt like I needed it, but I didn't want the epidural so strong that I couldn't feel contractions to push. I I have a pretty high pain tolerance, and like I can meditate and zen it out if I need to. So I really wanted to, with Mason, it was like hectic and crazy and like intense, and like I have really high anxiety, and I did not want that for this labor and delivery. So damn, where was I going? So yeah, so that's was part of my birth plan. I would have a C-section if I needed a C-section, but at all costs I wanted to avoid a C-section, which I did. I did have her vaginally. So I went back home. That's where I was going. So I went back home and I ate. And I walked around. So my appointment ended about like 12. I went, made sure that my bags were packed, made sure I had everything I needed. I think I even took a nap. I don't remember if I took a nap or not, but like I ate, I walked around, I kept drinking my tea and all of that. I bounced on my ball a lot. And then around, I want to say like 7 o'clock, those contractions really started to like get intense. So I got my mom to help me. I had to redo my hair, like I said. I wanted just the 2 like boxer braids, just because my hair is like super long, and I did not want it like this, like all in my face and in my way, and then or sweaty, and you know, labor, you don't want your hair in the way. So I had her do that. She had me like walking around through the house and swaying my hips. I still hadn't lost my bloody show or anything yet, so I was like, I don't know if it was gonna happen, but them contractions was hurting, and like towards like 9 o'clock is when they were hurting to where I couldn't talk anymore. I knew once I couldn't talk through them that it was starting to get real. And we put on some music, and it's so funny because as a millennial, you know, my song came on and he was like, he was doing it for the 99s and the 2000s, and then I started, you know, it came out and I started rocking them hips, and then I felt like I had to pee really bad. After the song went off, I like danced to the whole song, and then I went to the bathroom, lost my bloody show. I was about to get ready to go to the hospital, and I was like, no, I'm gonna wait a minute. And I walked a little bit more, and then I felt like around like 10-ish, I felt like I couldn't take it no more. And that is when we went to the hospital. Alright, so it is, what time is it, babe? 10?
11:10.
It's 11:10, and I'm in triage. About to get checked to see if they're gonna keep me, but I'm 99% sure they are. I had my bloody show. Aww. So like I said, it was like 11 o'clock when I was like in triage, when I was waiting on the nurses in the hallway to let me in the triage. I was like pacing up and down. It's like a little hallway before you can walk in, and I was just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It was crazy because another pregnant lady came and she just sat down, but I was in pain, so it was either me start crying when I'm sitting down, or if I kept moving and keeping my mind like clear. So I kept doing that. They called me back. They checked me, and whoo-wee, I think she was trying to check me during a contraction, and that hurt so bad. Oh, that was the worst pain. And that right then I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to get an epidural as soon as they get me up to the room, because that I'm not gonna be able to take. Like, they have been checking me and it hurts, don't get me wrong, it hurts, but when that lady did it, and I think she was a student, so I don't think she knew exactly what she was doing, because I did have her at a teaching hospital, so I don't know, it boggled my mind. It hurt so bad I almost wanted to kick her, but that's not nice, but it was bad. So I you know, they say, yeah, you're in labor. I think I was like over 4 at that point, So I got admitted, I had to wait a little bit more time, and then they got me to a room. Alright, so it's been a while since I did an update, but everything's been progressing on its own. I was at a 6 at I'll say 1 o'clock. I got my epidural and everything, and then I pretty much slept on and off until about 5, 6 o'clock. And then they came in and checked. I was at a 7, and they said that my bag was bulging, it had leaked. It was leaking, but it wasn't ruptured. And then around 7, it ruptured. It by itself. They didn't have to pop it. And then at about 8 o'clock is when I started feeling sick, and I started to throw up a little bit, and then they came in and checked me, and I was at an 8. So now I'm just laying with the peanut ball until it's time to push. So it's kind of hard to keep updated when it was so late at night because I was so tired, but we're almost there and she's almost here, so I will check in a couple hours. Oh, and when I started feeling sick is because I started feeling pain with the contractions on my right lower quadrant. So the anesthesiologist came in and gave me a, I don't remember what it was called, but an extra shot of something stronger. And then he upped my epidural. And when my bag popped and they were changing the sheets or whatever, right before that, I hit my button so that it wouldn't hurt when they changed me. And I think when I laid all the way back, that's what made me have to start throwing up. So I just felt water again. So yeah, I'm trying to think, was that everything? I think so. So yeah, I'll be back. The time stamp, it says 8:23 a.m. So it was about 8 hours between the last clip and this one. So what happened during that time was not much, actually. Everything was progressing on its own. I was about 6 centimeters by 8 a.m. So it was still moving pretty good. I did have the epidural, but they had me switching back and forth with the peanut ball in between my legs. I got to, take a couple naps, some power naps in there, because of course I couldn't feel the contractions. I could feel pressure, but I couldn't feel, not pressure down there, but pressure, tightness. That's more what it was. I could feel the tightness of my belly, but I didn't feel the pain. So I was able to take some naps. Okay, so yeah, so I was really at a 7 by 1 a.m. and then I went to sleep for a couple hours. They said that my bag was bulging. I guess, I don't know. I guess past my I don't know. But I guess it was getting ready to rupture. They could see her getting ready, pushing down on the bag. So they were talking about rupturing it for me, but they wanted to give me, I told them I wanted an assisted natural birth. So if they needed to pop it, it was fine, but I wanted to go as long as I could without popping it. And I feel like another thing that really helped with this whole process was COVID. And that's so weird to say because somewhere in here I took a COVID test. I don't know if I said it, but it was the throat one. It wasn't, I didn't have COVID. It wasn't horrible or anything. It was kind of far down. I felt like she was trying to, like, I don't know, choke me with it, but it wasn't that bad. But I didn't want them to, like, get that little hook thing and break my bag. I wanted my bag to rupture naturally, and I actually felt it rupture even though I had the epidural. Like, I could feel the wetness and I could feel like heat, and I was like, something's happening down there. I'm not sure what's happening, but something's happening and somebody should, like, help me out or something. So that's when they were like, yeah, ruptured. Yeah, so after my bag had broke, I don't know what happened, but I guess my contractions had started to get super intense, even though I really couldn't feel them that good. And I got, like, super sick. Like, I was throwing up and I just felt super nauseous. What's up?
I'll be done in a second, okay?
What was I about to say? Oh, I felt like super sick, and it was so bad. Now, like, I wanted to be more engaging and, like, more, because I wanted to be able to film this video, because I know a lot of people have a lot of questions, especially this year with pregnancies and labor and deliveries during COVID. But like I was saying, mine was pretty okay because there wasn't many people on the floor. She was the only girl. There was only like 4 other babies being born. They were all boys. We were all spaced out. They kept the lights in the hallways dim. The light in my room was dim unless we, like, turned it up to write papers or to do paperwork or anything like that. But it was crazy that it was so zen compared to Mason's. Mason was premature by 8 weeks. It was just insanity in her labor and delivery, even though it was during COVID and the pandemic, and I was so scared. Look, she is, like, super pulling my hair. Even with all of that, it was so calm for me, and I didn't feel rushed. I didn't feel pressured by the nurses or the doctors. I didn't feel scared. I didn't feel anxious. I had, like, almost no anxiety, and that's, like, not normal for me. Like, I was ready. I felt ready. Like, with Mason, I wasn't ready. I didn't feel ready. I didn't know. I mean, one, he was my first, but 2, he wasn't on, he was early, so I was like, what the hell is happening? With her, I was ready. I knew I was ready. And I feel like that made a total difference, was, like, my mindset with this labor. Right, so with my epidural, although it was, like, pretty spot on, it really took well to the left side, and, like, I could feel nothing on my left side. Like, it took a long time for the left side actually to come back. The right side, however, wasn't as well, so that's another reason why they kept switching me with the peanut ball. But the right side, after my water broke, I really started to feel it over there, and that's when I said, like, the pain that got so intense, like, it made me sick or whatever. So the anesthesiologist came back in, gave me a booster, made sure that my epidural was straight. All right, so that was at like 8:30 a.m. when I last updated, like, with a clip. So around, I want to say 3 o'clock, so I wasn't progressing. It took me a long time to progress from 9 to 10. I technically never totally, I guess, okay, so I dilated all the way to 10, but I guess I didn't efface all the way to 100% or something like that. So were saying that I was gonna have to get a C-section because I was gonna have, they didn't think that I would be able to push since it wasn't totally thinned out, and for some reason I just wouldn't thin out all the way. So they were like, I guess around like 3 or so, they were like, you can do 3 test pushes, and just to see, I guess, what happens down there. I obviously could not see what was going on, but to see if I would be able to push her out. And I guess I did great, and they were like, all right. So I actually called my mom, and obviously because she couldn't be there, I put her in my AirPod in my ear, just like this one AirPod, so I could hear my mom and hear everybody else. And I pushed with Mason I pushed for 8 minutes, and with her I pushed, I think, for 20 minutes. Was it 20 minutes or was it 12? I don't know exactly how long. It wasn't long. It was like, I said less than 25 minutes because I can't remember if it was 12 or 20 or whatever. But I pushed, and I had her around 3:30. I think it was 3:38 is what's on her birth certificate. So she was 7 pounds 11 ounces. My little lucky baby, 7'11". So yeah, so she was 7'11". She was 19.5 inches long. And yeah, she's perfection. After I had her, what happened? So they checked her, they gave her back to me, put her on my chest, and we were in recovery for a little bit. Then of course I got moved to oh wait, this part is a little TMI. So when you get an epidural, you get a catheter, because obviously you can't feel, so you would just pee on yourself like 40 going north. And after, they kind of wait for your legs to come back, and I don't remember the exact timeline, but once like the nurses came, it was a night nurse, so it had to have been after 7. No, it was after 4 because my morning nurse left at 4, and then I got a new nurse. So it was probably like 5 that I got moved to my new room. So it was time for me to go to the bathroom. Now usually when it's the first time that you go pee, it hurts because you had a catheter in. However, they had gave me so much fluid, and I was having, they did give me a little Pitocin at the end, which they give you, if you don't know, to help your uterus shrink back to size. Oh, I don't know, I'm so all over the place, but I did not tear. Yay, insert stuff. I did not tear, which was a big thing. I did tear with Mason, even though he was only 4 pounds 15 ounces, and he was way smaller than her, but I actually tore with him, where I didn't tear with her. Maybe it's because I had already had a baby, who knows. But so I didn't tear, so I wasn't, but I was still scared about, you know, peeing for the first time, because one, pee burns if you know, have tears or anything down there like really bad. So that's why they give you the little spray, the Dermaplast spray, which is amazing. You have to get the one that's lidocaine and aloe. Whew, it's amazing. But however, with me, so she came, and I had 2 nurses. One helped me sit down, the other one was in front of me bent down, and she was like gonna spray me with the bottle because I could barely hold myself up. And because even though I was sitting on the toilet, like I still couldn't feel my legs all the way. So I was trying to like kind of hold myself up with the nurse that was holding me, and she was gonna like spray me down there. Like, you get real cool with your nurses real fast. Hopefully you always have, all mine were good. I think most of mine were good. I don't think there was anybody that like really ticked me off other than this one lady. But what is that? I didn't even notice that the entire time. It's probably from the baby. Whatever. Mom life. So, and she was like spraying me. She was like, all right, whenever you're ready. And like as soon as like I knew I was above the toilet, I started peeing. And I swear I peed for like no stuff. It was like 5 minutes. Like it was a really, really long time. It was like my bladder just decided not to empty itself while I was still in the bed. So that was crazy. That, and it like shot out. I know it's super TMI, so just be wary when that first time. You want to make sure that you either have that bottle yourself or you have a nurse help you, and like they're used to it. Like modesty goes out the window, and she had the bottle ready, and she like had a couple of them, and she just kept spraying, and that like feels so amazing because it will hurt like hell. Just saying, just put it out there. It's not the most pleasant. Going number 2 isn't pleasant either, but I didn't do that at the hospital. I think with Mason they like made sure I went before I left the hospital, but this time it wasn't like that. So as far as labor and delivery goes, that was my story. It's a little all over the place. Sorry about that, mom brain. I can't really think of anything else. If there's any questions, I will do a like new mom Q&A. That's what I probably should call it, because it's really like pregnancy, labor and delivery, newborn thing. And I will do like a 4th trimester video, which is basically like postpartum, like how the last 6 weeks have been, and your first postpartum visit, which mine was supposed to be tomorrow, but they pushed it back to next week, so I won't be able to film that video till later. But if you have any questions or comments or anything like that, leave them down below. I really appreciate you watching this video. I hope it wasn't too over the place, or she wasn't too loud. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.